Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always following and supporting the channel. What do you think? Odin versus Aries, the two supreme gods of war and power from two opposing universes. Two supreme beings, two rulers of the greatest battlefields, two symbols of absolute divine might. On one side stands the king of Asgard, the all-father of the 9 realms, who hung himself from the world tree Yggdrasil for 9 days and 9 nights to attain the wisdom of the runes. The wielder of the boundless Odin force, who once clashed with Galactus himself, Odin Borson. On the other side is the Olympian god of war, son of Zeus, the very embodiment of brutality, bloodlust, and eternal conflict, who has conquered other dimensions and threatened the entire DC multiverse, Aries. When the All-Father of Asgard confronts the god of war of Olympus, when ancient magic collides with the power of perpetual strife, who will ultimately stand as the supreme god?
Odin Borson is the king of the Asgardian gods, the supreme being ruling the 9 realms, and one of the most powerful entities ever to exist in the Marvel Universe. He is not merely a warrior. He is a sorcerer, a sage, and a conqueror who has lived for millions of years. Born the son of Bor, the first king of Asgard, Odin displayed extraordinary power and ambition from an early age. Alongside his 2 brothers, Vili and Vi, he defeated the frost giant Ymir, the primordial enemy of the 9 realms, and fashioned Midgard, Earth, from the giant's very body. This was only the beginning of a reign of conquest and rule spanning millennia. Odin is one of the most powerful entities in existence. He has lived for hundreds of thousands of years, an almost infinite span of time that has allowed him to amass a colossal reservoir of knowledge and combat experience far exceeding that of most gods and cosmic entities. With the power of the Odin Force, he can manipulate cosmic energy on a massive scale and perform feats few can rival. The Odin Force grants him an array of extraordinary abilities. He can read the thoughts of beings existing in different dimensions, create energy shields that are nearly impenetrable, alter his physical size at will, and unleash devastating attacks. With a single blow augmented by the Odin Force, Odin once instantly defeated the Silver Surfer. Furthermore, Odin can infuse divine power into legendary artifacts, most notably enchanting the hammer Mjolnir, turning it into a weapon only the worthy may wield. Odin's mastery of the Odin Force has reached a near-perfect level over countless millennia. He has resurrected the dead, faced Thanos and Galactus head-on, and maintained the upper hand on numerous occasions. At the peak of his power, Odin unleashed an attack powerful enough to knock Galactus unconscious while the entity was weakened by hunger. However, the immense energy expended forced Odin to enter the Odin Sleep to fully restore his divine power. This also demonstrates that even the mightiest gods are bound by certain limits when exerting their full strength. The Odin Force also grants Odin a virtually endless lifespan and incredible regenerative abilities. He has created and destroyed an entire galaxy, teleported all of Asgard to Earth, projected energy blasts, capable of annihilating worlds, telekinetically hurled an entire planet at an approaching enemy from space, and even directly interfered with time and space. Odin's defensive capabilities are as astonishing as his offensive power. His body can withstand most forms of superhuman attack without significant harm. If injured, the near-limitless energy of the Odin Force immediately heals his wounds at a phenomenal rate, quickly restoring him to full vitality. Odin has demonstrated power beyond limits by containing an energy storm comparable in scale to an entire galaxy. This achievement reveals his ability to control cosmic energy at an almost unimaginable level. Beyond this, Odin has repeatedly displayed the capacity to manipulate reality on a universal scale. His overwhelming power is also clearly evident in his confrontations with Thor. In most instances, Odin can easily suppress and defeat his son without even needing to use his full power. This reflects the immense gap between the All-Father of Asgard and the God of Thunder, even when Thor has reached his highest states of power. Odin is not only superior in physical strength, but also possesses combat experience and arcane knowledge accumulated accumulated over countless millennia. Beyond his role as the king of Asgard, Odin is also regarded as the greatest and most erudite sorcerer among all the Asgardian gods. He can cast nearly every form of magic at the Shift Z level, masterfully wield various types of ancient sorcery, and manipulate mystical energy sources far beyond the capabilities of most mages. As such, Odin is often considered the sorcerer supreme of the Asgardian dimension. In many ancient civilizations, he was also worshipped as a god capable of bestowing power upon those who invoked him, similar to the role Dormammu holds over his own dimension. Odin's core power stems from the Odin Force, the supreme might that allows him to maintain order and control over all the 9 realms. It is precisely because of this power that he is honored with the title All-Father. When he combines the Odin Force with the spear Gungnir, his power is amplified to an even higher level. With a single strike, Odin can annihilate immensely powerful opponents, and he can also use Gungnir to open the Bifrost without the need for Hofun. This authority has enabled him to protect and rule the 9 realms across many ages. Throughout Asgardian history, Odin has defeated many of the most formidable enemies ever to exist. He triumphed over Laufey, subdued Hela, and repeatedly clashed with Surtur in his colossal, destructive form. Those feats cemented Odin's absolute standing as the supreme protector of the 9 realms. Even Thanos always harbored a particular wariness toward Odin. Rather than confronting him directly while Odin lived, Thanos waited until after the Allfather's passing to launch his attack on Asgard to seize the Tesseract. This decision reflects the acknowledgement that Odin was one of the very few entities capable of thwarting the Mad Titan's ambitions of conquest even at the peak of his own power. Odin has long been seen as bearing the bulk of the power and responsibility within the trio of brothers comprising Odin, Vili, and V. While Vili and V have scarcely any notable feats, Odin was always the one to directly face the most brutal battles and was also the member possessing the most overwhelming strength. Even from his youth, he consistently stood on the front lines in the conquest and defense of the realms. He once overwhelmed another Skyfather with just an ordinary hammer, even before reaching the peak of his power. This feat demonstrates that Odin already possessed Skyfather level might from a very early stage, even prior to fully mastering the Odin Force. Although Odin has teetered on the brink of death or sacrificed himself in major events numerous times, each time he returns, he still retains an astonishing source of power. He is fully capable of facing Thanos head-on when the villain does not yet possess the Infinity Gauntlet, simultaneously proving himself to still be one of the mightiest warriors in the universe. This record reflects that Odin's power has not significantly waned after millions of years of existence, remaining sufficient to make even the most dangerous adversaries wary. Odin is frequently assessed as having might approaching that of a celestial. However, that does not mean he is invincible. More powerful celestials, the cosmic entities, and especially the living tribunal still possess authority surpassing Odin. Nevertheless, the All-Father of Asgard holds a special standing in the cosmic order. Odin's greatest feat was his confrontation with the entity known as Infinity, formed from a portion of his own stolen power. The battle between the two generated a scale of catastrophic destruction, dissolving many galaxies, destroying quasars, and obliterating vast regions of the universe. After reclaiming the full Odin Force, Odin not only defeated his adversary, but also used his power to recreate every galaxy, star system, and cosmic structure that had been destroyed in the conflict. This achievement demonstrates that Odin possesses not only destructive capability on a cosmic scale, but also the capacity to create and restore life on a near limitless scale, affirming his standing.
I truly hope you will subscribe to the channel. It would help us immensely, and you are the most wonderful person. Thank you so much.
Now let's talk about Ares, the god of war. Ares is the son of Zeus, king of the Olympian gods, and Hera. From the very moment of his birth, he carried within him the very essence of brutality and bloodlust. Ares has only one singular purpose: war. He does not care for justice, honor, or victory. He cares only for the act of fighting itself, for chaos, for the stench of blood and the screams of the defeated. Ares is the embodiment of war, fury, and primal combat instinct in Greek mythology. His power is expressed not only through his superior physique, but also through his ability to incite frenzy and a belligerent spirit within great warriors. However, the rage that Aries represents also carries a distinct downside. When consumed by ferocity and the thirst for victory, warriors often become rash, exposing many openings and losing the necessary capacity for defense. This also reflects the very fighting style of Aries himself, who always prioritizes overwhelming offensive power over caution and defense. As an Olympian god, Aries possesses physical strength, far exceeding that of most gods and mortals. In the epic Iliad, Zeus once described him as the embodiment of uncontrollable fury inherited from Hera. This title reflects the ferocious fighting nature and belligerent spirit that forever burns within Aries. Although immensely powerful, he is not an invincible entity, and can still be subdued by opponents of sufficient capability. Regarding physical strength, Aries can lift approximately 70 tons, equivalent to around 140,000 pounds. This feat places him on par with his two uncles, Hades and Poseidon Aegeus. Among the Olympian gods, only Zeus and his half-brother Hercules are considered to surpass Aries in raw strength. Thanks to his extraordinary physique and combat ability honed through countless battles, Aries remains one of the most dangerous warriors in the Greek pantheon. Beyond his physical strength, Aries also possesses various mystical abilities. Although he does not specialize in magic to the extent of other gods, he can sense the presence of gods and demons from great distances, summon divine weapons directly from Olympus, call upon other gods when necessary, and freely teleport between Olympus and Earth at will. These abilities allow Aries to appear swiftly on any battlefield and intervene in conflicts in the blink of an eye. Although not considered a master sorcerer, Aries has still demonstrated an astounding capacity to manipulate divine power. After being wounded in his battle with Kyknos, he used his power to recreate Olympus, proving his ability to command divine energy. Furthermore, Aries can create a projection of himself to communicate with others from afar without having to appear in person. The combination of overwhelming physical strength, formidable divine power, and combat experience accumulated across countless ages has allowed Aries to maintain his standing as one of the most fearsome and potent gods of war in Greek mythology. Aries often chooses to manipulate the emotions and ambitions of mortals, turning them into tools to serve his own purposes. By sowing war, hatred, and the thirst for conquest, he can escalate conflicts to the point of spiraling out of control. It is precisely because of this nature that Aries has repeatedly become the enemy of superheroes, most notably Wonder Woman, who has always regarded him as the embodiment of war and violence that must be stopped. The confrontation between these two characters has spanned many eras and become one of the most renowned rivalries. Aries defeated the Highfather Isaiah of the new gods with relative ease. This achievement reflects the formidable scale of his power, for the new gods are not merely ordinary deities, but living ideas existing within a layer of reality that is archetypal according to Platonic philosophy. Being able to defeat an entity like Isaiah has affirmed Aries' exceptional standing. His ambition does not stop at sowing war, but extends to completely dominating the summit of Olympus. There was a time when Aries nearly accomplished this goal and was only stopped when all the Olympian gods joined forces against him. That feat demonstrates that Ares' power alone was enough to threaten the very survival of the entire pantheon. Ares has also defeated and killed Hades to seize control of the underworld. However, this event took place in a different context. Ares himself has also asserted that he is not only the god of war but also represents death itself, reflecting a vast scope of power that extends far beyond the mere concept of war. This allows him to control the destruction, death, and fear born from every conflict. He is completely unaffected by the gaze of Medusa, an ability potent enough to have cost Wonder Woman her sight. More notably, his power can continue to grow in proportion to the scale of war and destruction. The more conflicts rage, the more lives are consumed by violence, the more Ares' divine power flourishes, turning him into an entity that evolves almost without end on the battlefield and one of the most dangerous gods. Ares possesses immortality. He is not only a god unbound by age or disease, as long as conflict, violence, and and war still exist in any form, Aries cannot be completely destroyed. Even if his body is obliterated, his soul disintegrated, or his existence erased from reality, Aries can still resurrect himself from the very wars and hatred unfolding anywhere in the universe. He can influence war on a universal scale, silently sowing suspicion, fueling hatred, and escalating tensions between opposing sides. With his mere presence, Aries is capable of turning close allies into mortal enemies, causing conflicts to spiral out of control. Aries can also command weapons on the battlefield with his divine power. He easily controls countless types of armaments simultaneously, turning them into tools of destruction at his whim. At the same time, Aries has the ability to directly affect the minds of warriors, driving them into a state of frenzy, bloodlust, and the complete loss of rational control. Those who fall under his influence will fight without pause until nothing remains around them but devastation and death. Aries is also a master of every type of weapon and every form of close combat. From swords, spears, and axes to more modern methods of fighting, he can wield them all with near-perfect proficiency. The experience accumulated over countless battles spanning millennia has forged Aries into a warrior of superior skill, more than capable of adapting to any adversary and any battlefield. Aries has proven that his standing is sufficient to confront Superman head-on without being outmatched in many situations. Being able to contend with two of DC's mightiest heroes is clear evidence of Aries' overwhelming power. And now, let me directly compare and analyze the fight. Power. At a base level, Odin's offensive power is vastly superior. The Odin Force allows him to unleash energy attacks at a planetary or even reality-destroying level. His rune magic can bend the laws of physics and attack the very essence of an opponent. Aries, conversely, relies on physical strength and combat prowess. However, Aries' power is not static. It will increase throughout the battle. The stronger Odin is, the more ferocious the fight becomes, the more powerful Aries grows. This is a lethal paradox. Odin cannot defeat Aries with destructive force, because that very destruction will only feed Aries more power, survivability. Both are nearly immortal. Odin can be killed, but it is extremely difficult. However, history has proven that Skyfathers like Odin can die, as in Ragnarok. Aries' immortality belongs to another level entirely, closer to a cosmic law. He cannot be permanently destroyed as long as war exists. This means that even if Odin were to use all his power to erase Aries from reality, Aries would still resurrect from the very energy of the conflict they had just created. Intellect. This is Odin's clearest and most crucial advantage. Aries is a creature of instinctual destruction. Odin is a sage with millions of years of experience. Odin would not charge headlong into a war of attrition. He knows he cannot win through brute force. He would use his intellect and rune magic to discern the true nature of his opponent. He would realize that Aries is being nourished by the battle itself, and he would change tactics. How do you defeat an immortal god? This is the pivotal question. Aries cannot be permanently killed by conventional means, but Odin has ways to deal with immortality. He may not need to kill Aries, he can imprison him. He once imprisoned Surtur, an entity even more powerful than Aries, in the heart of Muspelheim. He could use Asgardian magic and the power of the Odin Force to create a space-time prison where Aries is completely isolated from all conflict, causing his power to dwindle to a bare minimum and leaving him permanently sealed. The battle. The fight would begin with Aries' aggression. He would charge at Odin with his battle axe, unleashing strikes brimming with murderous intent. Odin would calmly parry those attacks with Gungnir, assessing his opponent's strength. He would quickly realize that Aries' power, while formidable, cannot match the Odin Force. After a few minutes of combat, Odin would decide to end the fight. He would unleash a portion of the Odin Force, generating a colossal blast of cosmic energy to drive Aries back. Then, he would employ his magic. He could read Ares' mind, see his hatred for Zeus, and use it as a distraction. He could create an illusion of Zeus, driving Ares into a blind rage to attack the Phantom, exposing an opening. In the decisive moment, Odin would raise Gungnir high, concentrating the full might of the Odin Force. He would not hurl the spear at Ares. Instead, he would drive Gungnir into the ground, creating a colossal magic circle of ancient rune. This circle would open a space-time portal directly beneath Ares' feet, plunging him into a pocket dimension, a void completely separated from all reality, where there is no war, no conflict, nothing that can fuel him. Ares would be sealed. not by death, but by eternal isolation from the very source of his power. This is a battle that Odin wins decisively. Aries is a fearsome god of war, an immortal warrior with extraordinary physical strength, but he is facing an entity on a completely different tier. Odin is not just a god. He is a sky father, a creator and destroyer on a cosmic scale. Ares' power is limited by his very nature. He is the god of war, and his power depends on war. But war is just a small facet of reality. Odin, with the Odin Force and his wisdom, wields power over the very fabric of that reality. He can manipulate space, time, matter, and energy at a level Ares cannot reach.
And that is our analysis of the battle between the All-Father of Asgard and the God of War of Olympus. Let us know your opinion by commenting down below. Do you side with the All-Father or the God of War? If you enjoy these supreme god showdowns like this, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future divine battles. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again in the next epic clashes. That's today's video. Thank you very much.